Hi viewers, welcome to our channel. Presently, we are with Dr. Karthik Paanduranga and he is MBBS, MD, General Medicine, DM Cardiology. Hi sir, how are you?
Hello, Ishwar.
What is the diet you need to maintain, sir, like healthy lifestyle?
So, as I mentioned in short, in brief, that most of the times our Indian foods are mostly vegetarian in nature, and that is quite good in a way.
Okay.
But we have lot of carbohydrates like rice.
Yes.
That should be reduced as much as possible. Whenever you want to have rice, you have a small cup of rice, cup of rice, and you should limit it to it, because usually what happens, rice, especially in South India, whenever we find that the sambar or rasam is quite tasty, we end up having a lot of rice. So that should be avoided as much as possible. And try to have wheat or ragi and cereals. Cereals should be rich, should be added to our diet. And moreover, try to have pulses. Pulses will give you that adequate amount of protein. Now, if you see among all the food items like carbohydrate, proteins and fat, proteins have to constitute at least 60% of our food. That should be the aim. That means we should have lot of pulses, and you should have dals, black grams, horse grams, everything has to be rich in our food. So that should be taken care, and as much as possible avoid fried items.
Okay. Sir, actually we have seen some cases like heavy exercise and heavy gym. These
Yes,
leads to heart attack. Is there any possible, sir?
Okay, so there have been some conditions like there was a famous Karnataka actor Punit Rajkumar, and there were some footballers who recently died, and there were young singers who suddenly died on stage. Okay, so one of the things about the athletes and people who go to gym regularly is they strain themselves by overdoing things. Okay, so training is quite good, physical activity is extremely good, and it is desirable to have physical activity, but do train your body, but don't strain. That is the thing. Now, if you go through some American guidelines, they tell very clearly that in a single week, you should, or anybody who is able to walk and run should able to do only 150 minutes of moderate exercise or 75 minutes of strenuous exercise. So what does moderate exercise means? Moderate exercise means swimming, jogging or cycling. Okay, and strenuous exercise means going to gym and getting workouts done with heavy weights. So nowadays there is a trend that people go to something called as high intensity training.
Yeah.
Now, if you ask me as a cardiologist, is it desirable to have a HIT on a routine basis for everyone? I would say no. It is not desirable. But those who want to do it, I would advise them to just visit a physician or a cardiologist once before starting this training. Now, high intensity training is very, very strenuous, and the majority of the times the trainers who are involved in training, they are not competent enough to decide which person should need how much intensity. So that intensity word is very important. High intensity exercises are not desirable for any person. Of course, those who are athletes and all that, they can do it under supervision of a doctor.